You are not being ignored because the world is blind. You are being ignored because the pattern keeps disappearing. You show up with intensity for 3 days. Then you vanish for 5. You post the work when you feel powerful. Then you go silent the moment the response is quiet. You start the routine when the vision feels close. Then you abandon it when the crown still feels far away. And every time you break the pattern, the world learns the same thing. Do not trust this yet. They may like the spark. They may notice the moment. They may even believe you have something in you. But recognition does not attach itself to a spark. Recognition attaches itself to repeated proof. The few do not become impossible to ignore by making one loud entrance. They become impossible to ignore by becoming too consistent to dismiss. You probably know the private frustration. You can see the version of your life that should already be closer. You can see the room you want to walk into. You can see the standard you want people to associate with your name. You can see the body of work, the offer, the channel, the skill, the daily discipline, the cleaner environment, the quieter confidence, the crown. But then the evidence does not match the vision yet. So you start checking too early. Did they notice? Did it work? Did the post move? Did the habit change me yet? Did the market respond? Did anybody clap? And when the answer is not loud enough, you start bargaining with the standard. Maybe I should change the plan. Maybe I should wait until I feel better. Maybe I should come back with a bigger move. Maybe I should restart next week. Maybe this was not the thing. Most of the time it was the thing. You just did not stay long enough for proof to gather weight. That is the part nobody wants to admit. Your work may not be invisible because it is weak. It may be invisible because it has not repeated enough to become believable. People trust patterns. Your future trusts patterns. Your own nervous system trusts patterns. When you stop, you are not only losing momentum. You are teaching everyone, including yourself, that this identity is still negotiable. And a negotiable identity never wears the crown for long. In the old rooms, a crown was never only decoration. It was evidence. It meant someone had survived a line of pressure that most people could not carry. The goal did not make them worthy. The repeated proof came first. Then the crown became the symbol. That is the order you keep trying to reverse. You want the recognition to make you consistent. You want the applause to make you disciplined. You want the market to make you confident. You want the finished life to make you act like the finished person. But the forge does not work in that order. The crown follows the pattern. The pattern follows the standard. The standard follows the private decision you keep making when nobody is measuring it yet. This is why consistency feels so ordinary while it is happening. It does not feel like destiny. It feels like keeping the promise again. It feels like posting when the first post did not move. It feels like training when your body has not changed enough to impress you. It feels like writing the offer again when the first version did not sell. It feels like sitting down at the same hour, with the same tools, while your feelings try to hold an election. That is not glamorous. It is royal. Because every repetition is a vote for the identity. Every kept hour says, this is who I am now. Every completed rep says, this is not a mood. Every public signal says, this work is not visiting. It lives here. And eventually, the world starts to understand what your private pattern has been saying the whole time. This person is not leaving. This standard is not temporary. This body of work is becoming real. That is the moment attention starts to change. Not because you begged for it. Not because you performed desperation. Because the evidence became too heavy to ignore. So make this practical. Do not pick 10 signals. Do not redesign your whole life tonight. Do not create a plan so large that it gives you another excuse to admire it instead of execute it. Pick one signal. One visible or private proof that the identity is no longer negotiable. If you are building a brand, post one clear piece of work every day for 7 days. If you are rebuilding your body, train at the same appointed window for 7 days. If you are building a skill, complete one focused block before the day gets noisy. If you are building an offer, write or improve one proof-bearing line every day. If you are cleaning your environment, reset one space before you touch distraction. 1. 7 days. No dramatic announcement. No new personality. No emotional contract with motivation. Just proof. Then protect the signal like a crown being formed under heat. When nobody reacts, keep it. When it feels small, keep it. When the old self says this does not count, keep it. When the day becomes inconvenient, reduce the size if you must, but do not break the chain. The point is not to impress the world in 7 days. The point is to stop teaching yourself that the standard can be interrupted by silence. Consistency is not only a growth tactic. It is identity evidence. And identity evidence compounds. One kept promise makes the next promise easier to believe. One repeated signal makes the next signal less fragile. 1 week of proof gives your future something solid to stand on. Then you repeat. Not because the internet asked you to. Not because discipline is a costume. Because the version of you that can carry the life you want cannot be built from interrupted signals. It needs a pattern strong enough to hold the crown. So here is the vow. I will not ask the world to trust a pattern I keep breaking. I will not confuse being noticed once with becoming undeniable. I will not leave the forge every time the room gets quiet. For the next 7 days, I will keep one signal. Small if necessary. Clean if possible. Repeated no matter what. The crown is not coming from one loud entrance. It is coming from proof under pressure. Become too consistent to ignore.